Hi guys, and welcome to another Dragonheir Silence God video. Guys, today is day 7 of season 2 for me on my server, and therefore the events that allow me to reset my champions as expired. I am stuck with the champions I have. The XP is stuck in them. I can't get it back. I can farm more to level more champions, but what is done is done. And well, I want to share with you what has been my choice. What are my 6 champion I've chosen to keep to level 90 and why I've done that. And I want to show you my comps and what I'm doing at the moment in season 2. Because I just found out that with 6 champion, I am basically able to defeat to a good degree every content that the game is giving to me for now. And so I can farm epic gear, I can get those runes, I can get more XP, I can get pretty much everything I need at this stage. So let me jump into the champion first, I'll show you my choices, and then we get to the dungeon and I'll show you the composition and everything. But guys, before we get into that, don't forget to log in into the game if you haven't done it in quite some time. If you are playing the game or maybe you're taking a pause between season, just log in. For the next 13 days, you're going to be able to collect this, 7 rewards. And it's 5 Elolite dice for free. All you have to do is just log in into the game for 7 days and you're going to get all these resources. Thumbs up for Dragonheir to doing this, and Merry Christmas to everybody. Anyway, let's get back into the video. So guys, if you've seen one of my previous videos, I'll show you how I farmed basically 10 champion up to 70. I've unlocked the 70 upgrade, so I have all the materials basically to put them up to 90. I just missed the XP at that stage. So I've focused all my XP into the 6 champions. They are almost everyone at 90, only Adolphus is still 86, but a couple of running Goblin and that will be done. And then I will start farming XP for the next champion, which most likely is going to be Furbat or Nathaniel, because they unlock another content for me. But we see that down the line. So for now, I have a level my MC, my main character, because it's the easy swap between affinity. I think you should focus on that early game. It gives you the ability to complete any team of any affinity very easily. You just need to swap him around. And then I've built, honestly, some of the best epic in the game. I'm quite lucky to have them. If you have them, you should definitely build them. So those champions are, for me, maybe the most important at this stage is Garius. Garius has been probably the one that has gone the best buff by trying to nerf him. I believe some of the modification they've done to the gear was kind of aimed to try to kind of leg his meta. It was so good in Arena last season because you can bump his defense up so crazy high. You build some resistance in him and it will keep healing your team crazy number. So they took away the defense percentage from the gear. The only way we can get it is by the main stats of the bottom 2 pieces. So obviously it can be sub stats on all the other piece of gear, but the main way are those 2 defense percentage, chest and gauntlets. But this guy has that passive that he keep building up defense on himself, and therefore for this season, especially with the modification they dumped to the boss, is absolutely fundamental. You just put him up in front and he takes care of all those hits coming through, and he keep healing your team and he keep getting your team going. So I mean, for this season is probably at the moment the best one. Furbat is not far back. He has a lot of debuff. He can do a lot of stuff. He can heal your team as well. But yeah, for this season at the moment, Garius is the big epic. After him, I decided to level Sigrid. Sigrid is the best rare for sure. She brings the big version of decrease attack. She brings the heal prohibition. She's just amazing. She hits hard. She's maybe my main damage dealer in Goblin. She's very important everywhere. And yeah, you should consider having her up very soon in your game. Whatever season you play, she's just amazing across the board. The next one up is going to be Zarlot. Zarlot is just amazing. I keep repeating amazing, but they all are. It's fantastic. He has this Captain Aura, which for me is very important for Goblin. He heals your team. He plays a lot of control of them. He plays fear. He plays silence. He plays the recharge speed penalty, which is also very important in certain contests, like some of the dungeon. And if you give him the Crown of the Unclean or the Witch's Remain, you have a multi-hit ultimate that can place the decreased defense across the board pretty much everywhere with this multi-hit. He hits 5 times, so it's just crazy good. The next one is going to be Dane. Dane was my carry in Season 1, and here he is again in my first team build-up. He's just incredible with this 2 AoE on his battle skills and his ultimate. He takes away the buff, which is going to be very important again for the dungeon. And he's just a good champion. He brings damage, he brings utility, debuff, damage. He does it pretty much everything he does. The next one is going to be Adolphus. And I'm building Adolphus next because he's unlocking me another content that we're going to see later. He heals your team, build a shield, you know, everything that is protection on your team is gonna do it. He doesn't do a lot of damage, he doesn't bring much else, but he's gonna protect your team a lot. Now, the next 4 champions are gonna focus in the next few days are Varesh. Varesh this season for me it's better than it was last season due to the pairing. Is going to pair with Radiant. Frost and Radiant is going to be paired this season, so it's a better pairing. I can find better way to use this guy. I know I did a video on him saying that was probably one of my biggest mistake, but this season is going to be different. I am convinced about that. And the next one is going to be Nathaniel. Nathaniel again, shield your team, brings heal, increase defense, even if it's the small version, is dispelling buff, debuff on you. It's just amazing. Fur buff we already mentioned, decrease attack, defense aura, heals to your team, incredible tank, and Exandra. Exandra is probably one of the best healer. I am debating who of this 4 is going to be my next one. It all depends on what content they unlocked. I believe that I can farm with fur buff pretty much everything to a certain degree, so it's probably going to be him. And having 2 tanks from some of those waves in the storyline is quite useful, so it might be him. But I am not 100% sure yet. I'm going to see that tomorrow. And for now, I'm going to show you my dungeons. So we jump into the first one and I show you what I'm doing there. So guys, the first contents we're going to look is Goblin Layer. Goblin Layer is probably the priority for you at this stage of the game. You need to get those potions flowing. You need to be able to build your champion nice and quickly to get to the stages and progress to the next one and be able to defeat those bosses and get the gear flowing. For everything you're going to need in this game, from very soon, you're going to have to build more than one team. So having potion flowing is always going to be important until probably half of the season. But let's have a look at my team. Obviously, Adolphus is sitting out. He's the only one not bringing damage. I am using Garius because I need the champion to run up front and keep the goblin together. Garius for me is really good in this fight because he doesn't have animation that leave him behind. Furbat is also good because he brings debuff. There's that argument here, but Furbat is also the animation for the battle skills. So sometimes he just get left behind, and I don't like that. So I'm using Garius. I'm turning off his ultimate. I built him with the Scarab Amulet. He's in random gear as long as he has defense percentage. He brings a bit of damage when he hits the goblin. But that's pretty much everything he does. The next important one is going to be Dane. I'm using the Spiritual Incense Burner on him. So he circle quickly on that ultimate, placing the decrease attack on the entire board pretty much on this diamond shape ultimate. And this is going to enable Sigrid. He's still in rare gear. I've done this pretty much up to this point with rare gear. Obviously, I'm switching now to epic gear, which makes it massively easier. And so the next one is going to be Sigrid. She has the Eye of the Giant. I don't have material enough to level it up, but it's going to be my next one up to 16. She has epic gear, but as you can see, the subs are not so crazy. I have some crit rate, gauntlet, so I build her crit rate up. She has a good amount of attack, over 2,000. And the same I did with my main character. I put the arcane box which does more damage when you have a shield. I don't have a shield over here. It doesn't matter. It brings me that 20% crit rate. It allows me to be 82% crit rate on this champion. I have crit damage, positive runes that helps as well. I put on some epic gear. Again, I probably have a crit rate gauntlet and some crit rate here and there. I'm looking for attack percentage everywhere. I'm trying to do damage. And the last one is Zarlot. I put the Crown on the Unclean on him. Is my only decreased defense. But I want also the accuracy to place those debuff. He plays the recharge speed penalty. He can place a bit of control. It doesn't really matter, but he keeps those goblins still. And he helps to do the damage. I'm trying to build him also for damage. So it's going to be one of the next that's going to have the epic gear when he's flowing. And yes, of course, it brings the aura 24%. That is the most important thing. I'm not going to use any potions. I'm going to click on the run. You can see that it's pretty much always the same, nice and quick. Gary's ultimate is off. Sigrid was off for some reason. Probably a missed click. But here's the run. We're hitting them hard. We clean the waves very quickly. And Gary is always going to run up front, so it's going to keep them together. I've tried when I was able to reset the champions with Furbath. I've tried with Ergander, which was my tank for last season. I've tried with other tanks. They're all amazing, but sometimes they have those animations that makes them fall behind, and therefore the goblins basically spread out across the field. They run up to your back line. It's more difficult to hit them with those AoE. And so I landed on Garius for here as well, even if it doesn't bring much. We are hitting them very quick. You see, we're hitting them with everything we have. We're doing damage. And yeah, that's all you're doing here, really. I'm probably not going to 3-star this time around because I still don't have all the epic gear build up on my champions. Once I'm going to be to that stage, this is going to be an easy 3-star. And by that point, I'm going to probably move to Goblin Layer 3, which should going to be open in a few days. It's not going to happen anytime soon, I believe, because the next one up is going to be Rot. But yeah, guys, there's not much else to show over here, really. We're just doing damage, wave after wave. The builds are those. And the nice thing is that these champions are also able to do those dungeons that are going to bring the gear. And so we can still use the same builds, the same champion, everything on every content we have open so far. So see, 4 of big potions and some of the small one. This is going to make my champions grow very, very fast. Let's jump to the next content and I'll show you again the same comp, pretty much the same gear, but different layout. The next one up is Grave of Venom 6. I have tried a different team on this one. I probably can push with a different team when we're going to be hitting the higher stages. But this team can do Venom 6. Anyway, and it's the same gear, it's the same everything. The only thing that's changing here is I'm using the defense aura from Garius. And that's it. I'm not doing anything different. I'm just placing my champion like that with the gear I have and I plus Prey. It's full auto. I am not touching anything. I'm not even playing the skills. It's going to happen all in automatic. And I'm going to show you the run in the background. I'm going to put some music on because there's no point me talking over everything. The champions are the same. So have a look at this one. I'm probably going to speed it up and I'll see you on the other side. Here we go, guys. 1 minute 42. It's not super fast, but it's steady. It's auto. I don't have to do anything. We get some gear. Again, defense percentage, I'm not going to complain. We get some material for the forge, so I'm going to have more pieces flowing. And that rare gear is going to be sold. But yeah, we've never been in danger. The run has been smooth. I believe I can run probably this team for another stage or two, depending on the gear I'm going to farm. But it's probably not going to be enough for later stages. The boss is going to start hitting too hard. We need to start dealing with the boss in a different way, I believe. But for now, this do, and it give me the gear I need. So let's jump into the next one, and I show you there what we're doing. So guys, next team up is GRA of Curse. I'm going through them, how they comes up along the storyline. On this team, we're swapping out our main character. We're bringing in Adolphus. That's why I've built him. Is going to be here to put the shield up and protect our team. The gear on the champion is the same. The only you haven't seen is Adolphus, but I'm going to show you through here because it's much quicker. This is the gear I have on my champions. As you can see, it's exactly the same as it was before. I've just built enough enlightenment on Adolphus to get that shield up all the time and make it beefy so the hit from the boss doesn't get through. And you need to have a look at the timing here because it's very, very important. I'm using Garius defense percentage aura, and I'm using this timing here to try to keep my champions always in line with what the boss does. I am banking on the fact that Zarlot is going to land that recharge speed penalty, so the stretch out of the time is enough for me to do my ability always in time with the boss, and this is the timing I found so far. Obviously, if anything goes wrong in this run, if Adolphus doesn't remove those two buff from the boss on his ultimate, you are toasted. There is no way you're gonna survive. If Zarlot fails to land those recharge speed penalty, it goes out of sync and you're also dying. So it's not 100%. It's absolutely not 100%, but it really doesn't matter. We're not losing energy over here. We can redo the fight. And as you can see, it's pretty okay. It gets a bit ropey maybe sometimes, but it does the job. So I'm going to show you the run. I'm going to put it up on the screen. You can have a look through and see what happens. And I see you on the other end. Here we go, guys. Another one defeated. Pretty much the same team. We're swapping up one member max here. We got also two pieces of gear. Let's see what we get. Enlightenment and crit rate. Another crit rate. I am on a roll today. I'm actually very happy about that. Yes, so simple as that. The only thing you need to remember is go back and maybe stop the video on the timing if you need. But let's jump into the next content so we can show something else here. So guys, the next one up is the Retical Ruins. The team is the same, the gear is the same. As you can see, I've only swapped in again my main character instead of Adolphus. You can see all the gear over here, nothing has changed, all the same gear again. I'm not even using the timing over here, I'm just going press play and see you on the other side. There we go. And now one down. And same team, same gear and everything. This is my team to rule them all. And I am happy that I've done the choices I've done. So yeah, another level 6 done. We get Enlightenment for poison, which is really good with crit rate. And an attack for ice, plus material. We're going to soul those rare. 2 minutes 32, not a crazy time. But again, 6 champion, all the dungeons we have open so far. So guys, what do you think? What has been your choices for the champions? What are you banking on? What are your composition? What team you put together? I will be curious to know what you're doing. Write in the message down below in the comments on YouTube if you want. And if you did enjoy the content and if you find it useful, maybe you're coming up in the game a bit later than me, please like and subscribe. I'm going to try to make more videos on Season 2 with content that are going to be useful for all the players, not just for those that spend a lot of money. So guys, I see you soon with another video about Dragonheir Silent God.